Hi, my name is Alok Kejriwal. I'm the co-founder of Games to Win and the Therodinhoods. If you haven't heard of the Therodinhoods or been on it, log in. It's a great community for entrepreneurs. This is a series of video vlogs or video interviews that I'm going to start doing just so that I can quickly get across my points, and also because I think video is going to be the next big thing. So expect a lot from me unless you say I don't want to hear from you anymore. I want to talk to you about co-founders and the whole magic and secret and the myth around them. I get a lot of inbound mails, messages saying, what do I do with co-founding? How do I find a co-founder? And so on and so forth. There's no answer to that, right? It's not like you can go out and shop for co-founders on your favorite e-com site. There's a lot of luck, there's a lot of destiny, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into finding someone that you can literally live your entire venture life through. It's like, a spouse at home and a co-founder at work. They're almost the same, kind of people in your life. While everybody has their own do's and don'ts, I think there are a few rules that have worked for me, in trying to find a co-founder, or when you find someone thinking this is my co-founder. So, some of them are, for example, yin and yang, right? I mean, dissimilarity. If you are really good at tech and someone else is great at business, I think that's the beginning of a great co-founding team. I'm a business guy. My partner at Games to Win is a pure tech guy, and that's the reason we get along and hopefully remain successful, because we complement each other. The second, I think, important thing is what I call age cohort. You need to belong to an age, a time, a class of thinking that pretty much is the way you are like the other person. I call it the interrogation test. Take two co-founders, put them in two separate rooms and ask them the toughest questions that could mean life or death. The really great co-founders will answer each of the questions identically in the same way. The third is why are you co-founding with each other? If interests are not aligned or joint at the hip, as I call it, there's serious trouble ahead. I want to make money, my co-founder wants to win a Nobel Prize, boom, that's a lot of trouble. So as long as and as much as you can, make sure that your interests are aligned completely, because as things happen in startups, and 99.9% of the time they'll go awry, your interests and your passion of why is the only thing that glues you together. Finally, please understand that in a relationship, there are always going to be, ups and downs. I have this thing with my co-founders, right? I say, look, you're like my partner, you're like my wife. I have the right to call you, to scream at you, to shout at you, to say anything to you. There are no mannerisms when it comes to co-founders. It is, soulmates. I own you and you own me, and we will do whatever it takes to make this win. That is the kind of quality of relationship that you need to have. And if you don't find that comfort with someone, don't make him or her co-founder. Where do you find co-founders? Amongst people you meet as many people as you can. They could be vendors, they could be clients, they could be people in a plane. Get friendly, get used to them, travel with them. I took a trip with Mahesh to Korea just to figure out how he and I thought together. And when you feel right, like you propose to a girl or a girl proposed to you nowadays, pop the question and then begin to settle in. This is pretty much what has worked for me. I've met 9,000 people in my life and I have 3 co-founders. So far so good. If you like this, send me some comments on what you want me to feature in the other, following videos. And in the meanwhile, think, do, be Robin Hood. See ya.